let me start with a brief introduction. My name is Vladimir. I'm a senior product manager here at Salesforce for the team which delivered Global Picklists, and they're now about to deliver amazing apps that will simplify the life of admins who want to migrate existing fields into global value sets. And here with me in the same room is Nicholas. He is a senior engineer who has been working on that app, and clearly I have him here today so I can blame him if something goes wrong during the demo. And before we start, I think you're all familiar with that slide. It's a forward-looking statement, and as many of you already know, I'm just asking you not to trade any stocks of Salesforce or any other stocks based on what I'm gonna say today, or any promises I'm gonna make. Pretty much that's it. And I want to outline what we are here today. We're here today to demo an app that based on an idea you filed about a year ago, and this was one of the fastest growing ideas in idea exchange history, and pretty fast it crossed 10,000 idea exchange points, and now it's over. Actually, on my slide it says almost 13,000, but I think when I checked this morning it was above 13,000 idea exchange points. And I'm wondering if an idea author is online with us today. It will be really cool. And we have over 180 comments on that idea, and clearly, since that idea was filed when Global Picklists were just in pilot, it meant a lot for admins. And today we're about to demo a Salesforce Lab App, and an app that you can install in your org that will help you to migrate existing picklist field into global value sets. And before I move to a real demo, I just would like to take some time and thanks everyone for participating in idea exchange, and it's really important for us. And as a product manager, I feel very committed to delivering based on your feedback and based on ideas you file. So please continue. And this is one of the most beautiful parts of being product manager here at Salesforce, is how amazing our community is and how we can all engage around ideas and communicate, and through Twitter, through Success Community, through idea exchange. And thank you everyone again for keeping us busy. And let's talk a little bit about how that app works in general before I move to real demo. So pretty much you can think about that app as like 3-stage process. And let's say you have an account with some picklist field on it, which has several values like A, B, C, D in my case. So what this app will do first, it will take your values and the existing global value set, and it will merge those values into that value set. So now we have an existing field and a global value set that contains all the values you have in the original field. And on a step 2, what happened, you have the field, and the app will go and create a new field, and you can provide a name for it. In my case, I just call it new picklist field _ C, that will be referencing that global value set. And on the final step, if you can imagine that you have multiple account records with the old field populated, it will go and make sure that values in the original field will match values in the new field. And at the end of the migration, it will also create a trigger that will keep those values in sync with each other. So in this way, you'll have a time to proceed with your migration, and once all the references are updated, like let's say in your Apex code and reports, you'll be able to just delete the old field and switch completely to a new field. And also will give you time to modify your page layouts and do all those kind of things. But let's actually take a look at the live demo. Let's not take a look on my playlist, but let's take a look at the demo. So here I have an org already set up, and you will be able to see that I created a global value set, and I had to put some value into it. So I just put a do not use value, because you cannot create a global value set with no values. So I just moved forward and created it with one test value. And also I have two fields, one on account called status, account status, and it has a couple values here, active and inactive. And I also have a similar field on the contact, and that field has slightly different set of values. It has active and inactive, and also out of date value. And in addition to that, it has a field that is a value that is currently inactive, saying pending review. For some reason, let's say New York decided not to use it anymore. And if we look into my account records, I created also some list views to simplify the demo. So if we look into account status list view, I have like 3 records in my account, and each of them has some value populated in account status. And I did the same just for demo purposes. I did the same for contacts. I have a filter called contact status, and it has some values like active, inactive, and pending review. So now, once the app is released, you'll be able to install it. In my org, I already installed it, so I can just go to App Launcher and find the Picklist Merge here. You can see it. Just click it, and it will take me to that quite simple UI where I need to populate a couple fields. And let me actually make it bigger. So we can see it better. I need to populate existing object name. Let's say I want to start with account. So I need to put account here. And I need to put existing field name. In my case, existing field name would be account status _ C. I need to put existing value set name. In my case, that's a status. And I need to give a new field name. That's the field that will be created as a part of migration. And for instance, I'll call it account status _ M _ C, where M stands for migrated. And before you can use this app, there are really only 2 simple steps you might need to take, and I'm going to demonstrate it. So if you try to use the app out of box, as I have it today, it will give you an error saying that you need to update your remote site settings and add an endpoint. So this is a really simple step, and I'm going to show how to do it during this demo. So we go to Setup back, and I'll type remote site settings, and I'll be able to create a new remote site. And after you're done with your migration, you can delete it. And I called it merge. And I'll just copy paste that endpoint that's been provided as a part of error message. I'll save it. And now when I run my merge tool, I should get a second error, and I'll explain why. So I click run, and now it will tell me that existing field has to be restricted. And that's one of the restrictions we have. In order to use this migration tool, you need to make your original field restricted. The reason for that, and if you think about it, when you create a field that uses global value set, that field is restricted as well. So we're not really asking for any extra restriction, but in order to map it, you need to do an additional step before your migration and convert your existing field into restricted, which possible if you have under 1000 values in that picklist field. And I'm also going to show how to do it. It's a simple one-step process. I'm going to go to Object Manager here. I'm going to go to Account, which my field is on Account. I'm going to find the account status here. I'll click Edit. And all I need to do is find the checkbox that says Restrict Picklist to the values defined in the value set. I'll select it and click Save. Now my field is restricted, and I should be able to use it with my Picklist Merge app. So now if I click Run, it should go through successfully. And again, Nicholas here is now all sweating, but it went through. once it's included a job to do that migration, after the job is complete, you as administrator should receive an email. And in my case, it's pretty small migration, so email should come within a few minutes top. And the email would look something like this. And this is a mail from 2 days ago when I was doing a dry run. And it will tell you if any records failed to get migrated. In our case, it was 0 record, so this should be treated as a success. So now back to our org, I'm going to show what happened. So if I look into picklist value sets and I look into my status picklist, I'll see those 2 values got migrated as a part of merge. And also, if I look into our object manager and account, I should be able to find the account here. And if I look into list of fields, there will be a new field that got created as a part of migration account status M. And this is a field that got created during migration. And as I explained earlier, it will use a global value set that is our target global value set. So once that part is done, all you need to do is set up field level security. So by default, migrated field is not visible. So it's also help you to phase your migration so you don't make the field visible until you're done with all the work. So all I need to do here is just for demo purposes, I'll just set up it visible for everyone, but your org might have a different settings. So I'll make it visible. And now the only missing step is to add it to page layouts. So if today I look into accounts and let's say I try to create a new account here, I won't see that field yet. But if after I add it to layout, I should be able to do that. So let's go to account again and go to page layouts, and I'll modify the page layout that I'm using, which is account layout. I might want to make it a little bit smaller. So I need to find my field, which is account status M, and for demo purpose, I just put it next to the existing field, just under, and I'll save a layout. So now if I go back to the list view I created, and let me modify it to include a new field that we got just migrated, we'll see that actually all the values are matching. And as I said, there will be a trigger added that will make sure that the values match if you update an original field while your migration is still working. So if I go and switch it to active and save it, and after I refresh the page, because Lightning doesn't do it for me, unfortunately, I'll see that the new migrated field also got updated with a new value. And this kind of to protect your org while you're in that migration process. So if something changed in the original field, you don't end with obsolete data or out-of-date data. And now let's look into, because it's not just for a single field. The problem admins are facing is that they have multiple fields that they need to merge into one global value set. So I'm gonna do the same trick for the second field I have, which is a contact field. And I'm gonna go back to a Picklist Merge. And this time, my object will be a contact, and field name is a contact status. And I specify the same global value set as I did with the first field. And I'll give it the same name, contact status underscore M underscore C. And I'll run my migration one more time. And this is a very interesting case. As you remember at the beginning, I showed you that contact status field has some inactive values. So during the migration, what would happen that while we migrate things, we make all the values temporarily active. we need to do it in order to update records. So if you remember that pending review value was inactive in original field, but got activated in the picklist value set. So in order to fix that, you need to use the second option here on a Picklist Merge app, and it says correct value status and record types. So what this option will do, it will take your original field, it will check what values are active and inactive, and will make sure that it matches whatever you have in a global value set. And it will also do the same trick for record types. So if you have some record types where some of the values are available and some are not, it will also fix the record types for the new field. So let's run it. And it looks like it was successful. And I expect when I refresh the screen, I expect to see that pending review now is inactive. And it's inactive. So that's pretty much give you like a two-stage migration if you have inactive values and any record types. So that's pretty much it. And I want to talk also about the third option you might see here, migrate records only. This is your safe option in case something went wrong with a migration and you only migrated metadata. And by that, I mean that you got values migrated into global value set and you got new field created. But when you check, you see that some records are not matching. So you can always rerun migrate records only we can always rerun Picklist Merge app with a migrate records only option to proceed with a record migration. And this is pretty much it. So once you're done with the migration, once you updated your reports and all other places where you reference the original field, you can hide it from the layout or you can delete it completely. And from now on, all your fields are referenced in a global value set. And I think if we have any questions from the audience, I know that Nicholas was looking into those, and I also can answer any of questions you might have while we have the webinar going. Yeah, can everyone see the questions and answers in the list? And I got one question, I'm gonna read them. Is there anything in the roadmap to allow us to migrate the existing field to a global pick list without creating a new field? So in summer 17, we're gonna release an additional feature that will allow you to promote your existing field into global value set. It will work only for a single field. So what's it? Sorry, hold on. I think. Yeah, sorry for that. So as I said, there will be a new additional thing where you will be able to promote your existing field into global value set, and in this way you don't have to create a new field. But this is only will work for one single field, and if you have multiple fields, you will need to use a Salesforce Lab App to do that. But promotion part would be inside your org, so that will be like built-in functionality into the platform. Okay. Is there any easy way to determine where our old fields are being used? Oh, and question disappeared? Did someone? Oh, maybe. Oh, Nicholas already answered it. Sorry. Okay, let's see what's not answered here. Yeah, Nicholas is trying to answer them and writing in as well. You made the change to a status from inactive to active, but the change also happened on the new status. How come? How are they connected? From inactive to active. So I'm not sure. Oh yeah, so yeah, I got the question. So let me show you again. When we are doing this part over here on account, right? And I think that was your question. If I go to account status, if I change it here from inactive to active and save, it will also update the corresponding value in a new field. And this happens because we have a trigger created as a part of merge, which makes sure that every time the original field is updated, it's also that the new field gets populated with the same value. So as a part of merge, a new Apex trigger is getting created. So is there any reason I can't just create a global value set and then redirect all my existing pick lists to use a value set? The reason for that, and one of the reasons why we actually introduce it as this app and not built-in functionality, is because there are so many places where you can reference it in your org, like reports, like different layouts, record types, and so on. So it would be extremely complicated and unsafe for us to proceed with those changes, versus as administrator, you can understand the structure of your org better and take care of all those cases while we provide you some kind of support tool to do that. I hope this answers your question. And this would make a great trailhead model. Clearly, we're actually thinking about making a picklist trailhead module, which will talk about all the cool features we delivered around picklists. And we're about to release a blog post. And also, I hope I'm doing a recording of this. Yes, I'm recording this session, so once it's done, I'm going to publish it as well for those who were not able to attend. Not a question, but an answer. Metadata manager can help locate where fields are used. Yeah, that's actually a good point. When the process errors out, will it tell us the record which had invalid data, or do we have to identify it ourselves using data loader? It will not tell you explicitly what records failed. It will tell you how many failed. And as I showed, you have the third option to migrate records only, so you can rerun it until you get the clean results. I don't need to merge two new fields. I just need to eliminate the labor of maintaining 6 different copies of the same pick list. Well, unfortunately, I guess the part of the eliminating that labor would require to kind of switch to a new field, and I understand that it requires more work, but unfortunately that's the safest route to proceed with the migration today without risking your data and without risking your process. And the good thing is that you can start with one field with a Summer 17 with promotion tool that will be part of platform. You can start with one field and slowly using a merge app, slowly migrate them when you feel that's the right time to do. The best way to determine where old fields are used, although imperfect, is try to delete the field. Yeah, that's might be also an option. And someone mentioned that I wouldn't suggest it to do though, because you might end up deleting it while some other stuff is still in use. But someone suggested to use metadata manager to figure out it. I don't know what is this. And I have a global picklist in my production org, and I have a managed package that contains a regular picklist field. How do I convert the field in the managed package to use a global picklist found in my org when I install the package? This is a very interesting question, and I think I received a couple of them before the demo. This tool not necessarily help you at this point. What you can do though, if you in your package create a new field using the global value set, then your administrators can do that in subscriber org. They can do that extra step to migrate records between those two fields. This is not ideal, and we are thinking to see if we can provide some Apex code that were used behind this app, so you can include it into your package. But this is just like on the forward-looking statement. There is no specific plans to do that, but we are definitely looking into that option, because I know that a lot of ISV partners and people who deploy packages across the org are coming with that similar question. But hopefully with this tool in place, we're one step closer to solve that problem as well. Are there any admin services available from Salesforce to help with this migration? I mean, probably Merge, but no, we don't provide any services from Salesforce side to do that. Okay, when we'll have access, please? Our plan probably to release it within next 2 weeks. We need to clear up our text and documents, and ideally put a blog post around it, so more people will have a proper documentation to use it. But we're very close. I envision it to happen within the next couple of weeks. Regarding the Summer 17 functionality, if I have 5 pick lists that I'm currently maintaining separately, will I be able to promote them one at a time to use the same global picklist? Unfortunately, no. It will promote it to a separate global value set. So you can promote one pick list first and then merge for others using this app into that same global value set that you got promoted after the first step. So if you use a promotion functionality with Summer 17 release, you will end up having 5 global value sets. So you still will have to do a merge process. Sort of answer. Does that mean I can, if I know the data is clean and the global value set match it? Does it mean I can, if I know the data is clean and the global value set matches the local value set? Okay. Okay. Does this work in Salesforce Classic or only Lightning? It works in both. And actually, we are working on fixing some small bug in Lightning where a tooltip for the tool is not displaying. I don't know if it will be able to do pre or release, but in Classic, you actually can see some help text. Can Global Picklist be merged? Not as part of this app. I think you'll have to, there's no right now easy solution to merge 2 global value sets together. Can I create 2 pick lists on a single object that both reference the same global value set? Yes. I'm not sure why you have any problem when second pick list referencing comes up blank. If there's actually an issue with that, maybe I would suggest to file a case or raise a question in success community. I'm sure that this functionality is supported, and I know that customers are using it. So if I have an existing global pick list, I could use this tool to make sure that all of the existing pick lists I want to set to it, add any stray existing values into the during the migration process. Yes, if you have existing global value set, you can skip the part where I have to create an empty one first. You can just take an existing field and merge it into existing global value set, and it will match the values. Okay, looks like we have some viewers from UK. Hope it's not too late there, and thank you for attending. Would I be able to migrate 2 pick lists, one which is a controlling pick list and the other is dependent, and preserves the field dependency? Unfortunately, you'll have to reestablish a field dependency after the merge process. That's one of those things that we are not able to support at this time. But again, since since you have an ability to figure out when you want to roll it out, you can have those fields invisible until you reestablish dependencies, and once it's done, you can move forward and make it visible, add to layouts and so on. Okay. Oh, one more question. What is the logic on merging values? Is it text-based, heuristic? I believe it merges based on API names. So as you know, in winter and spring, we introduced a pick list value API name. So the logic behind it is it compares the API names and matches by API name. Can I make two global picklists dependent on each other? A dependency, can I make two global picklists dependent on each other, or does the dependency have to be reestablished at the object level? It's on the field level, so you can make two fields dependent to each other, I believe, as I said, unless someone in the room can correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, as another engineer mentioned, there is an idea on idea exchange to make a global dependencies between global value sets. It's not yet on our it's the same way like state and country pick lists work today, but it's not on our roadmap yet, and I encourage everyone to find that idea and vote, and we'll definitely consider it. Okay. Do we have any additional questions? It looks like hopefully I was able to answer them and give you some basic ideas of what the Merge app would look like. And I encourage everyone to join our success community. Let me go back to my slides. Join our success community called Global Restricted Custom Picklists. And also feel free to follow me on Twitter with your comments, questions, and anything that might come up into your mind after the demo. If you want to answer me, you're more than welcome to tag me on Twitter, or if you're extremely happy with the tool, if you're not happy, or any kind of feedback would be greatly appreciated. And with that, I think we're done. And I just want to thank everyone for joining today. I know that for a lot of people here, it's not exactly convenient time, and I appreciate you were able to make it. And once the app is available, I'm gonna post an update both in Success Group, an idea, tweet about it, and hopefully it's gonna happen in the next couple weeks. And also, I'm gonna publish a recording of this meetup in the Success Group and an idea as well. Thank you very much.